Hello, it's Miss Diane again from Finkelstein Memorial Library, and this week we are going to be making some homemade ginger ale. So you'll need to start off with some fresh ginger, just like this. You're going to peel it and chop it into little pieces. I've done this off camera because it takes forever, but it's worth it, I promise. So, put this guy aside. You will need your saucepan. You'll need 2 cups of the fresh chopped ginger. You'll need 2 cups of sugar. And we're going to make a simple syrup out of all of this. And 2 cups of water. Okay, we're going to put this over a medium heat and slowly let it come up to a simmer. Okay, so this recipe I saw when I was a teenager, so I've been making it ever since. This was on a show called East Meets West, and you can still Google the original recipe if you're interested. This is going to take a while to form our syrup, but you'll know you're ready when your syrup thickens a tiny little bit, but it'll thicken more when it cools, and you want to reduce this down to about half of what's in here. You can make a nice ginger candy out of your ginger chunks, but tonight we're just going to focus on the ginger ale. Okay, so while this is cooking down, you'll want to make sure you have some sort of colander or strainer type deal, because we're going to be straining the ginger out of here eventually. And you will also need some club soda, the last ingredient in here. It can be found right in the soda aisle. Store brand will do. And also, if you have it, a sprig of mint is nice, and a hint of lime. Alright, so we are going to let this do its thing and cook down. So that took forever, but still worth it. So I want to show you what that looks like. So you remember we started off with 2 cups of water and 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of fresh peeled ginger. That has been reduced down quite a bit. So the next step is to strain this. So we're going to run this right through here carefully. Now, even though we've made a syrup, it's only a tiny bit thickened. It's going to thicken as it cools down. Okay. Now, once again, we do have our leftover ginger in here. And if you don't want to waste it, you can toss it, coat it in some sugar, and put it in the oven for about 3 hours at 225 and dry it out, and you will have a nice ginger candy. Alright, let's move this over to here. And now what we have left is our ginger syrup. Now right now this is really, really hot, so it's way too hot to use in our soda, which should be nice and cool. So we're going to let this cool down, and next step is assembling our soda. Alright, so we let this cool down for a good number of hours. Just so you know how long this recipe takes from start to finish, I started about 5 hours ago. That includes the chopping and the peeling of the ginger, the making of the syrup, and letting it cool down in the fridge for a bit. So we are going to go ahead and taste this. So we have our club soda. The original recipe says to serve with a sprig of mint, and it's pretty dark outside and raining cats and dogs, so I'm going to let that mint stay out there. We are going to use proportionally, I think it's about 1/7 syrup to club soda, to 7 parts club soda, but I have never measured this, and really it's just to taste. So I'm going to put a nice dollop of syrup in my cup. I'm going to pour in some club soda. You'll see That syrup is way thicker than when we started. Alright. Now if you have a lime kicking around, you can also feel free to put a little squirt of fresh lime juice in here. That would be very, very tasty. So you don't want to make a big batch ahead of time because it might go flat. So we're going to make ours by the cupful. Ah, perfect. So there you go, about 2-ish teaspoons, I didn't measure, of syrup. Cubby wants some ginger too. And a little bit of club soda, and you're good to go with your fresh ginger ale. Have a great week, everybody.